Truth Serum Nation, your boy is back. I made it through the trenches. I was out of town for a while, but I'm back. And my show is, if you're new here, I've been censored. I'm a political refugee as far as YouTube is concerned. And you get into all these political shows and narratives. And boy, the censorship is quite crazy. It's like a holy war. It has become a holy war. Mike, how you feel, buddy? It has become a holy war. And Kathy, how's it going? I'm back in the USA. So, the holy war in America, it is good versus evil. And you just sit there and watch it. You get pissed off, but we still have to enjoy our lives. BMX, how you feel? We still have to enjoy our lives and do what the hell we got to do. But when I did what would the mafia do? What would the mafia do when you got evil people? There would be a list. I mean, they're going to butcher this video. The moderators, of course, they're going to butcher it. But they're inciting the CNN news and the politicians on Capitol Hill, the Maxine Waters, the racist fat black women that are out there. They're the racists. When you see the big fat black women out there that are all DEI hires and all that, it's insane. It's insane. And my best friends were black. But I'm just saying that they're incompetent. They happen to be big fat black, but they're incompetent. I don't care if you put somebody purple up there. Let's do their job. They're haters. They're Kimmel, that rainbowed out whatever he is, like the Jimmy Fallons, those little rainbow fairies that are out there. Why don't somebody start putting their addresses up there? What would happen? I don't know. I mean, I want to be a Christian. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. But is it like a holy war? You got the propaganda media that's just all lies. We were Democrats growing up. We were Democrats, but we're not stupid. We could see logic and reason and sensibility and Christian values, but the Dems happen to be perved out, woked out, and evil and inciting violence, from their politicians to their bought and paid for propaganda news networks. So what happens when they're the ones that are promoting all this? Like, Nancy Pelosi, that thief. Oh, well, somebody broke in their house, 3 or 4 years ago? Yeah, Nancy Pelosi, the ringleader. Nancy Pelosi, yeah, they come in there and did whatever to her husband. Yeah, that evil, the queen of evil, Nancy Pelosi, but, Chuck Schumer, another leader of the Democrat Party, that's just strict evil. Well, why don't they start posting their addresses? He lives over there near Prospect Park in Brooklyn. Well, so if they're promoting attack political leaders, attack news people, and things like that, okay, aren't they afraid that there could be psychos that might go after them? Like AOC, that evil black racist that she is, evil, hates everybody, talk the same old rhetoric, the same old bullcrap rhetoric, all this, give everything away for free. It's a lazy society. They're all coddled. The generations is coddled. And they're all sitting back there with their rainbow hair, the freak show, and all that, So, we had Governor Newsom out there in California, another nutcase. So this is good versus evil, because that perverted Democrat Party, that doesn't run in alignment with the Bible. Queerdom, homosexuality. See, I'm not supposed to use those words on YouTube. Isn't it freedom of speech? That's why they censored me, boys and girls, because I thought there was freedom of speech. But I gotta say, instead of saying dead, I gotta say unalived. Oh, Jimmy from the Gambino family? Yeah, Tommy went over there and unalived him. Really, YouTube? I'm going to tell a mob story, and I can't even say somebody got killed or somebody is dead. I got to say, oh, yeah, Tony got unalived by Johnny. Queerville. Queerville. Queerville, YouTube. Queerville. Everything. The football commentators, they used to say, yeah, the guy's no good on defense. And now all the football commentators, well, he's, like everybody's good. The guy got beat for 3 touchdown passes in a row, and they're still like praising him like he's a good cornerback. It's all fagged out praise for this new age of insanity. Be men, have it be merit-based, a meritocracy, no more DEI. And all the politicians that are doing all that, well, what if it's a holy war? Jimmy Kimmel, Hollywood Boulevard, California, you got 4 residents over there. What is that, public knowledge where you live, Jimmy Fallon? You talk all that smack about Charlie Kirk? You talk all that smack about Charlie Kirk? Can't there be crazies in there? Aren't there crazies in there that might, the same crazy that got Charlie Kirk? Couldn't there be crazies out there that might freaking target you? Jimmy Kimmel, Nancy Pelosi, Jimmy Fallon, all that propaganda news. Well, you better increase your security team because ain't nobody safe. Nobody's safe. It's all right. And then if something happens, CNN and all that, oh dear, somebody left a threatening letter on the car and on their car or something, some scumbag news anchor from CNN or ABC, somebody left a threatening letter and they're like, oh dear, oh my gosh, what is going on? You're the one that incites all this. They even came down when Charlie Kirk was doing his things, God rest his soul, when Charlie Kirk was doing his engagements at these universities, they found sound bites and actual footage of those scums on CNN that were promoting violence against Charlie Kirk. Well, why don't somebody get their names and addresses? Huh? If violence is on the menu, then maybe they're not exempt. They're promoting it, and then when something happens, they're like, "Oh no, we didn't know. I don't know. He said it. They said it. He said it. They said it." It's holy war. They are the evildoers. So you need soldiers. If there's a war, you need soldiers. Well, I don't know. What does that mean? I don't know. Is it an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth? I don't know. But they've got to be careful because there's ex-military men. There's people from the wars that have PTSD, and they're watching these scums. They're watching these news anchors. They're watching these Chuck Schumers and Nancy Pelosi's and AOC. They're watching. Who's to say they ain't going to be nuts and try to do something, perpetrate something on them? Good, wholesome veterans, that gave up their mind and body and limbs for our country. And they're sitting there listening to this. They're watching these bums turn our country. They put their war on the line for our country. Just like the movie, just like Taxi Driver, Robert De Niro. Well, he's a bum too. He's a woked out scum bum too, Robert De Niro. All Hollywood is fagged out, woked out. All the TV shows, they're all anti anything that's biblical. It's a freak show. It's a freak show. And they're the ones that are promoting. Jimmy Kimmel said that bullcrap against Charlie Kirk. Jimmy Kimmel talked smack about Charlie Kirk. Then they dismissed him and they let him back on. Well, he better have security if he's going to make it to his car somewhere along the line because nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. I'm not promoting violence, but you could see this. You will see. Whatever this is, September 27th, 28th, whatever today is, September 26th, you will see in the future because they're stirring the pot. They're promoting violence. They're just promoting violence. It's okay to attack your political enemies. Well, they're the enemy of people. They are also a political enemy to the Republicans. So if they say you got a green light to attack your political enemies, everybody's a target. Everybody's a target. So They're the ones that run down the street. They throw rocks at the house, and then when somebody comes out with a automatic, they run back down the street. They incite it all, and then they backpedal. Oh, what about this? What about that? They got Democrat politicians that were calling for violence against Republican politicians and people in the news. It's all right for them. But if there's retaliation on them, they created it. They created it. They want to turn it into a holy war in America. Turn it into a holy, yeah. They want to turn it, yeah, Kath. It's just a free for all, anything goes, and the generation is coddled. They're woked out. They're little wimps. They want their mommy. They living in the basement, and but CNN, Governor Newsom, California, freaks. The Comos when they were here, Dorothy Hochul, New York State governor. These are freaks. They're evil freaks. They're bilking the taxpayers' money. New York State hasn't balanced a budget since forever. And then they come in here and they come in and they want the taxpayers that are already burdened tremendously, more than any other state in America. Then they want the hardworking New York taxpayers to foot the bill for their insane agendas, their political insane agendas. All the illegal immigrants get a $10,000 debit card, and freaking Bill's working 40 hours in a factory to support his family and paying taxes on that. Well, what about Bill? Well, guess what, Dorothy Hochul? Bill's moving to Florida. Bill's moving to Arizona. Bill's moving to somewhere else than this piece of crap state, New York State. It's the Democrat evil headquarters, New York State. So they're fleeing New York State. Taxpayers are smart. They're like, well, let's go set up shop. If you're 22 and you're married and your wife is expecting a baby, you're leaving New York State. If you had any brains, you'd leave New York State for your future, So some things are left sacred. Some things are left sacred. They're so evil. After what happened to Charlie Kirk, they got up there. They were gloating. They loved it. And then some of those wigged out, fat, black anchors, the bald-headed anchor, that black piece of garbage, evil devil, and the other ones, they were gloating. And they were justifying they were justifying political violence. They were justifying violence, abstract violence. Well, are they going to justify it when it happens to them? If it happens to them, all they do is spin their shows around the clock. They hate Republicans. They hate the anchors on Fox. They're spewing all this hate. But will they finally chill out? Or will there be more headlines? Because Charlie Kirk had a following. Charlie Kirk promoted love, Christian values, and nonviolence. He promoted debate as a beautiful human being, a healthy discussion. Charlie Kirk. What do you do when the other party's not interested in a healthy platform, a healthy discussion? Then it's a holy war. You're a target. They're coming after you, and you're going to have to sing kumbayas. You're going to have to sing fireside songs. Just sit there and sing fireside songs while they're freaking attacking you. Well, I don't know. Maybe people, but I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't promote violence, but I wouldn't mind if somebody over there got smashed. I would not mind. I would not lose sleep if these dinosaur, archaic, Democrat evildoers that have nothing in mind but to tank our country, exploit our country, sell our country out, shit on the military, shit on the veterans. I wouldn't mind. I mean, I don't promote it. I do not promote it because that's not the biblical way. But What would the mafia do with it? This they would have already had the list. They would have had the list like that. This. Who's next? Oh, that bum lives near Prospect Park. Jimmy, Ricky, go smash that bum out. Oh, this was what's that? The Hollywood Studios. Oh, go smash this bum out. Ronnie, go. Yeah, who else we got here? Yeah, that Hokel. Yeah, where's she at? Oh, 17th Highlander. Go smash. They'd have a list. They'd have a list. Yeah, who else? Who else is on this? That's what the mafia would do. But you got to fight fire with fire. They're promoting violence. You just can't sit back and just, well, we got to do this. I mean, that's what Jesus wants. Forgive me, God. But I would like to see it happen. I said it. I would like to see these evil bums get attacked. So you could pull this off of YouTube too, because you already crushed my channel anyways. So for you folks that are in here, the great Michael, Kathy, DMX, I'd like to see them get smashed. I'd like to see them get smashed. Forgive me, God. Forgive me, Jesus. Forgive me, you Chinese bums at YouTube. You Chinese bums. You know, you're the evil doers. The Chinese. They're a raw dog evil. The Chinese that own all these social media platforms. They want a divided America. They want America to be divided. They want to promote all this. They want to censor. They want to indoctrinize our youth and to be little whips, to be little fragile wimps. And they call their boyfriend Bruce. Bruce, I'm gonna text you a picture. Do you like this purple in my hair or is the orange better? Oh, okay. Oh yeah. See, they want to promote. They want to take the man out of a white man. Look at the commercials. Look at TV ads. Look at everything that's on network TV. They emasculate the white man. They emasculate the white man. And they joke about it and everything else. But if you say something about a fat black lady, it's a 5-alarm fire. How dare you? All this and that. And Kathy, you know, I ain't prejudiced. My best friends were black. But I don't care what color you are. They're assholes that happen to be black. And for some reason, they're fat, black, Dorito eating, Cheeto eating, whatever the hell they are. Whatever the hell they are. And I love some black women. I love some black women. Real women. Real woman. Not these lazy fat asses that just sit back. They watch Maury Povich all day. Who's my baby's daddy? And blah, blah, blah. And we hate Donald Trump. And let's get the whole world upside down. You know, they never offered anything to humanity. But 5 babies with 5 different baby daddies. That's all. They never offered nothing. And they sit up there and then, They censor me. They do what they want. I'm just saying what most people are afraid to say. Because I sacrificed my YouTube channel. Because Mama told us, stick up for ourselves, Kath. Stick up for ourselves. So they could do whatever the hell they want. Those Chinese slant bums, the Nancy Pelosi's, just keep playing all your games, those Democrats, because there's going to be crazies out there going after you. They were posting the addresses. The CNN and all those Democrats were posting the addresses of the Republican politicians. And it was fine and dandy. They were posting the addresses after Charlie Kirk, before, during, and after Charlie Kirk. They were promoting the addresses of Republican leaders in different cities and states, federal level, Congress, senators, governor, city council. These bastards were posting the addresses. Really? They're posting the addresses. Okay, well, I'm barred anyways. What street does Jimmy Kimmel live on? Let's Google it. What street does Jimmy Kimmel live on? Huh? Anybody out there? Oh, it's not for public knowledge. Jimmy Kimmel's residence is not for public knowledge. Oh, really? Oh, wow. What a little wimp he is. What's he afraid of? Yeah. What area of Los Angeles does Jimmy Kimmel live in? He lives next to the El Captain Theater. Oh, wow. I don't know. Hey, anybody interested? Any Charlie Kirk fans out there interested? This is just where Jimmy Kimmel lives. Huh? That's what they're doing. YouTube. You don't bar them. You don't censor them. Huh? Yeah. Where does he live now? What street? Yeah. What is all that noise? This evil bum. Yeah. 6840 Hollywood Boulevard, Los Angeles. That's probably that's to the show. That's to the Jimmy Kimmel show. And that Fallon and all them bums. Yeah. Yeah. Chuck Schumer, he lives near Prospect Park, Brooklyn. He walks around the park. He's like a gremlin, you know. Kathy says, isn't it something, Joe? The poor guy Charlie's passed away, and these people are still afraid of them. That's the impact this man on normal people. Yeah, they better be afraid because because normalcy. Well, if it's normal to do that, Charlie Kirk got a lot of soldiers out there. Charlie Kirk has got a lot of soldiers, and if they want to turn it into a holy war. Oh, the Democrats canceled their outdoor their speeches. AOC, the loudmouth rat yam, racist yam, AOC, she canceled everything. She's afraid to come out of the house. That tough piece of crap AOC. What happened, AOC? You're the one that created all that. You canceled all your engagements. Why? You scared? Why? Yep. You want to put the addresses? You want to incite people and list their addresses? If anybody's that determined, they could track down a CNN anchor or a Democrat politician. You don't need any help. If there's enough information gathering you could do out there. I don't have to tell you where they live or this and that. If there's crazies out there that want to get an eye for an eye, I'm sure they could do the research and they could come back and blast these scumbags. It ain't nothing. They're not going to watch my show and go, oh, geez, what a good idea that is, the truth serum. No, if it's already in their DNA, they don't need any assistance. I ain't got to say, where does Nancy Pelosi live or Chuck Schumer? If it's already in there, he already got attacked twice, that troll Chuck Schumer. Nancy Pelosi's house got broken in, and that whatever husband freak or whatever. Yeah, so keep it up. That ain't nothing. There's blood. They murdered. They incited murder. And we'll never know the true story, how media and conspiracy theories and all that works. You can spin it. But me, I'm a gambling man. I'd bet my last dollar on that was generated, insider stuff, that a guy just walks up unfettered, unnoticed. So, and that's out there where it's all a freak show anyways, the Northwest. Tara, hey. How you been, Tara? We're just doing the new holy war. The propaganda media, the evil politicians that promote violence. Well, promote violence against them. If violence is on the menu, they're vulnerable too. They're vulnerable. That's all. So, yeah. Yes, it's me. DEI is completely ridiculous on many levels. Any company that hires DI is throwing their company out the window. Yeah, even the Delta Yes, it's me, 8. Thank you for joining. I was flying a couple days ago. Delta. The flight was delayed. My first flight was delayed. I missed my connection. So you got to go to customer service. Okay. There's a long line. There's two fat black ladies sitting there drinking a Coke and eating potato chips. Everybody's trying to make their connection. True story. Everybody's trying to make their connection. So you got to go to the kiosk, get in the computer, and then they'll announce your name. Okay. I got 7 minutes to connect to my flight. I might make it by 5 seconds. I'm next in line. There's two of them. They're not paying attention. They're on their phones. I said, "Excuse me, I'm trying to connect. We're in a rush. This is an urgent matter." She looked at me. I didn't even merit a reply. Delta, this is Delta Airline, customer service area. I said, "I beg your pardon. I'm trying to get out of here. I already got e-credit because of that before. So if you want to give me more e-credit because you're irresponsible, then I could fly for free for a couple of years because they'll give you a voucher if you can prove whatever." She waits another 3 minutes. She goes, she looks on the computer and she says, "Joseph? Yeah, it's me, nitwit. It's me. Connect me to whatever. Connect me to the flight." And then there was a guy behind me he said, "It already boarded." I said, "Are you happy now? Were your Cheetos and chips good, honey? Were your Cheetos and chips good?" Now I gotta wait. It was a 4:00. It was a 4:00 flight. I gotta sit to 9:45. I gotta sit in there for almost 6 hours because Letitia, Shinakwa, Akita, whatever the hell her name is sitting there eating potato chips and drinking a Coke, and she's texting on her phone. There's 30 people trying to make their next connection, and these DEI rodents could care less. They could care less. That's what happened in America. Atlanta airport, there ain't one white worker. Italians aren't nowhere. Look on TV. Men are obsolete. But try to find an Italian man on any media platform. Try to find an Italian man. They're rare like the dodo bird. She said, "Joseph." I said, "Wow, you're cute. You're cute. You're very cute." She said, "Oh, well, 9:45 is the night." I said, "Yeah, you won. You won." They boarded the guy, on the phone. On the phone, you could see the flight, the status of the flight in real time. He was behind me. Yeah. There's like, forget about that. They're boarded. They're closed. They're on the runway. They're on the runway already. I said, yeah. Everything went downhill. But, well, they want the discrimination and all this and that, but I didn't see one white worker at the Atlanta airport. Just out of curiosity. Yes, Atlanta is predominantly a black city. But just as well, if there was a white city, the black freaking Al Sharptons would be calling for more representation. That's not equivalent to per capita. They want per capita if it's on their side, but if it was a predominantly white city and they were all white workers, then they would just say, "Well, that's the population ratio." Philly Bob. But hey, it is what it is. God bless them. At least they're working. They got to live and survive. But it's double standards. I want everybody to do well. But they preach all this inequality and they promote it. It's the biggest evil. It trickled down. From Biden, Obama, Hillary. It trickled down. It seeped down. They had an opening with Joe Biden and they went with it. Now you got incompetence everywhere, not merit-based. It's just incompetent. And if you're a fat black lady, you're on the top of the list. You might have a GED from nowhere elementary, but you're on the top of the list. And the competent people that are they're good with their skills, they're professionals and skilled, they don't hire them. They don't hire them. There's no more meritocracy. Work hard, you'll get there. Yes, that's true to a bit, but now they're getting the elementary school kids indoctrinated right to the time they get to college. You got these queered out, rainbowed out colleges, and now you're bringing that mentality from the academic world into the civilian population, and they end up working these jobs at airports and where the hell they are, police officers. I watch this stuff on YouTube, like crime and all that, and you see these police officers that are trying to apprehend somebody. They're fat. How the hell you call yourself having overweight police officers? Huh? I don't know. Is it just me? Then they were letting everybody in the military. Yeah, I want a fat black lady in my foxhole while I'm getting bombed and machine gunned. Yeah. I want a fat black lady eating Doritos and Cheetos in my foxhole with me while I'm getting bombed. Yeah, that's what I want, Joe Biden. Yeah, that's what I want. How insane is that? That's not being chauvinistic. Women are weaker than men. Biologically speaking, women are weaker than men. There might be good women in certain aspects of the military that can handle their business. I'm all for promoting women, real women. I'm all for promoting women. I got one daughter. I promoted her to be a strong daughter, a strong woman. My mother was a single mother of 5 children, strong woman. But in the military, in battle, I don't think so, Billy. I don't think so. Well, that's just chauvinistic. Well, who would you pick, Sally? Sally, who would you pick if you were getting shot at in the field, Sally? Would you pick Bertha or would you pick Bob? Who would you pick? Who would you pick? You're getting shot at in a battlefield. Who do you want to defend you? Yeah. What's up, Lee? Tara, how you been? Real woman. But they sketch things and they skew things so weirdly. They try to hypnotize you. They try to indoctrinate you with smoke and mirrors and all this and all that. And it's at the point where it's just, well, see, politically speaking, if you look at the Democrats, they're not going to have control of the House. They're going to be the minority for a while. And if you're like a political analyst, which I am, one of the best, don't let the views fool you. I'm a victim. If you look, who are the good-looking candidates that could be for the next presidential election? Governor Newsom? He's got so many skeletons in his closet. First he was talking smack, yeah. And then all of a sudden he's like, well, I don't know. Look at who the Republicans got. You might have to go through the Trump family. There's 4 viable presidential candidates. Even the girl. See, I promote women. Even the daughter-in-law could be a candidate. There's 4 viable candidates. Trump's. You got J.D. Vance. That could be a potential 8 years right there. So the Democrat presidential situation for future candidates is bleak. Who's good looking that's not rainbowed out on their side? Yeah. Les, you got Sucker Punch Sunday. The dude spent 4 days in the hospital. Handle your business, Lee. I hope it was a Democrat. There you go, Lee. The beautiful Lee Montoya. The beautiful Tara. Philly Bob. I did a show. I couldn't take the pressure. This Jimmy Kimmel got up there. Well, ABC does not, the show does not respect the views of the ABC, whatever, Disney Network. Well, listen, boys and girls, the Disney Network, it promotes all the evilness. They put a little freaking statement out there, and then they hired them right back. They're bums. They're freaks. They're pervs. And Jimmy Kimmel's up there talking smack about Charlie Kirk. Well, why don't somebody put his address up there? Huh? They're sick. They don't have anybody. They're not going to gain any more seats. They're not going to gain anything. They are going to be the minority. And what is the future prospect for them getting a Democratic president? Are there any good-looking Democrats out there? Where are they? All they think is that freak Governor Newsom of that shitbox state, California, he tanked that state. They're all moving. You see, the biggest Democrat headquarters, New York State, everybody's leaving New York State, and everybody fled California. The Democrat headquarters. They might have to redistrict the representation because you get the representatives by population. So they're going to have to probably redo that, but there's nobody good looking, you know. Governor Newsom thinks he's a Hollywood actor. He thinks he's a model. Governor Newsom. He's a freak. He's evil, and I hope he runs. Governor Newsom against J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance, and when they debate, J.D. Vance will slap him all over the place like Donald Trump with Sleepy. Well, that wasn't even a contest. They just rated. That's no contest. So who they got? Governor Newsom and the closet full of skeletons that he has. J.D. Vance's history is pristine. Pristine. Yeah. Kathy, Newsom thinks he's James Dean. Yep. He'll get shamed. They'll send him back to California with his tail between his legs. Get a debate a Republican. They're whack. They get all the media. They got the media on their side, but you can't believe in all of that too, because when you go boots on the ground, 7 out of 10 people, whatever, they say 54-46. Even the news will say approval for this, approval for that. Well, 56% approve Donald Trump. No, it's like 74% approve Donald Trump. 74% approval. So their little polls and all that, that's all bought and paid for polls. It ain't that much of a horse race. It's a freaking blowout. It's a blowout. And they know it, and they're getting all their perverted shit in while they can, because they're preaching to the choir. They're preaching to the choir. Just because Kimmel says that all this stuff don't mean nothing. He's just a whisper in the wind for a small percentage of freaks. And these other anchors, they're just whispers in the wind. But 70% of the people are happy with our country right now. 70%. So all that hocus pocus on the media and all that, it's just they're preaching to the choir. They're bought and paid for by the globalists. And they get their paychecks, and they'll say whatever they want just so they can have some type of opposition. But boots on the ground, 70 to 75% approve of Donald Trump. Case closed, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Case closed. So that's what we're left with. That's what we're left with. They don't have anybody for the next presidential. Who they got 2028? Anybody in the comments, my great people? Maybe I'm missing something. Who do they got? Even Fetterman turned on them from Pennsylvania. I got to give Fetterman credit. I got to give Fetterman credit. You know, he is what he is. Fetterman, he got up there and said, excuse me, Democrats, Maxine Waters, all you racist freaking bums and all that. In case you haven't noticed, the Democrat Party ain't doing that well these days. Fetterman, the only one that had a pair of cayunes on him to come out and say it. I give him credit. Kathy, he knew he was on a sinking ship. Yes. Yeah. The chairperson from the DNC, the Democrat National Committee, went on Fox News. Fox News is enemy territory to the Democrat Party. This slant-eyed Chinese lady, somehow a Chinese lady is the head of the DNC. Jeez, how'd that happen? You know, at least make it a black lady. You know, at least make it a black lady. God forbid if it was a white heterosexual man. They bring the slant on and they're asking her questions. And she said she was trying to sidestep. I give her credit for going into enemy territory, but it's the powers, the globalist billionaires, George Soros, Bill Gates. See, you got the globalists. Everything's bought and paid for. So the DNC slant-eyed whack don't mean nothing to the globalists. They're the ones that pay for all those campaigns. They're the ones that donate when these people are running for election. Otherwise, they would have no money to campaign on. So they're all bought and paid for. So she was kind of like saying more or less, well, our hands are tied because we got globalist pervs out there that don't want to freaking go with the Rob B, $2.99 sold to the man, the great our Bergio family. I'm getting it in. I had to do a show, Rob, and you know they want to have a holy war. Well, start looking up the addresses in case you missed the first half of this show. I don't promote violence, but they promote it. And what if it happens to them? That's all. Their party is tanking. They have no good-looking candidates. There could be a governor. There should be a mayor of New York, Trump. Mayor of New York could be a Trump. Governor of New York could be a Trump. And the president of the United States could be a Trump. Possibly in a beautiful world. In a beautiful world. Because this New York State is such Democrat infiltrated filth, scum, Democrat teachers unions, teaching our children all this perved out, woked out stuff. New York State is the epicenter, as well as New Scums, California. Telling little six-year second graders, you want to be a girl, Billy? There's no parental rights. We have rights. You want to be a girl, Billy? You tell your mommy you want to wear a dress to school tomorrow. And if she doesn't agree, we're going to put them in jail. Oh, Gretchen. That Michigan, well, there was the Michigan governor, and then there was also a news anchor, too. Gretchen. If you're named Gretchen, you're evil. Forgive me, folks. Forgive me. Thank you, Rob. But the Cash App is a better thing because you just gave YouTube 65 cents, Rob. Just gave it. There's a Cash App in there, but whatever it is, it is. Oh, Dorothy Hochul. The Horns, Dorothy Hochul, another one, Tara. So, yeah. The DNC, the Democrat Party, is tanked. CNN, ABC, Disney is tanked. They got nothing left to spew, so there's nothing else to do. They're not going to move to the middle, so that's their role. That's the role that they play with the globalist puppet masters, and that's what they get paid to do. And in 10 years, it could be switched. The Republicans could be crazy, and the Democrats could be fine. Fox could be crazy, and CNN could be fine. Just a little puppet game. The globalists are going like this. Suckers. Suckers. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. That's all. That's in the Bible, ain't it? That's in the Bible. Mm-hmm. AOC canceled her engagements. Oh, sorry. Nancy Pelosi was afraid to go here or there. She saw the boogeyman. Oh, she said, well, you're promoting it. Why are you inciting it? And then you backpedal once you know, if you live in glass houses, don't throw stones. Can't there be crazies that love Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk, his message was peace and dialogue. That's fine. But there could still be crazies over there that says, we don't care about that anymore. We got to fight back. This is a holy war. Maybe words don't work all the time. Maybe you got to smash some heads in so some people will think twice. Max, what's going on? Max said the Prince of Peace encouraged peaceful protests. Yes. In this case, I'm staying home. Max, how you been, buddy? But what is the answer? What is the answer? Yeah, I think her name's Dorothy Hochul. Well, if you're not sure, she's the one with the horns, Tara. Just if you see the horns, you'll know it's Miss Hochul. She's the one with the horns, okay? And the fangs. Peaceful protests, sit by the campfire, sing Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya, and all this, and you're getting hit. Kumbaya, oh, watch out, dodge this. Oh, be careful. But, you know, that. Thank you, Max. Thank you, buddy. God bless you. Thank you, Max. Long time no see. I had to do this because this Jimmy Kimmel is up there. This ABC and Disney, they're so evil. They're so evil. Why do they feel so safe when they're promoting? Don't they think that could happen to them, Max? Don't they think political violence is okay? Eliminate your political enemy? Well, they're the enemies of people. So aren't they afraid of that? Colbert, Kimmel, they're all bought and paid for propaganda. They're freaks. And that's what the Soros pay them to do. Disney and all those globalists, they pay these puppets. They're puppets to keep that agenda spewing. But the public, as far as the public is concerned, 70 to 75%, you could have all the Jimmy Kimmels, you could have all the Colberts, you could have all the Whoopi Goldberg, you could have all that. 75% of the people in America don't like them. Don't like them. They're a whisper in the wind. They don't have a loud voice. They got trounced in the elections, in case you haven't noticed. So while they're spinning all that propaganda, news networks, paper media, social media, they're spinning all that propaganda. And what did they get them during the elections? They got smashed. They got blown out in every state, nationally to locally. So they could spin all that, George Soros, and they could do all that. Ronnie Pinder, how you feel? So that's fine. They put on their little show, you know, the CNN anchors. They put on their freak show. You got the evil. They're a whisper. America has waken up. Not woke, but they try to woke it. But Americans aren't as stupid. After Joe Biden, they went, whoa. Like the great group The Who said, we won't be fooled again. You know how many Democrats it took to shift for Donald Trump to win a landslide? It's hard to convert a Democrat to a Republican. I was a Democrat. It was easy for me to convert. But those embedded Democrats, you know how hard it is to convert? Half of them psychopaths. But a lot of them are interested in closed borders. They are interested in proper education. They are interested in national security, as well as anybody else. Yes, any stable thinking American would want those common sense, logical things. So when you look at CNN and you look at these Democrats, that's a whisper. they'll always be the minority. The Three Stooges has higher ratings than CNN. Yeah. Max Meeks, in the Batman Dark Knight, the Joker had his own clown dress goons shoot each other just for fun. Then he burnt the money. Christians, stay out of this. The puppet game, buddy. The puppet. The Joker was the puppet master. But at the end of the day, regular hardworking Americans want, of course, a defined border. Of course, they don't want crazies coming in and killing and committing crimes all over our country. Hello. So any thinking American would want that. 95% of Americans want everything that Donald Trump promoted to get elected. So all those Democrats want that. Yeah, they might have been affiliated with the Democrat Party, but when the writing was on the wall and they seen what the Bidens did, they said, wait, hold the phone here. We're voting for Trump. So they're a whisper. They're a whisper. The Jimmy Kimmels, that show's ratings are garbage. Colbert, these late night puppets, these just late night puppets spewing that stuff to a rainbowed out audience. They're rainbowed out California freaks. California's propagating that garbage. All those indoctrinated college students sitting in the audience, hypnotized by puppets, puppet masters. That's such a small percentage of the overall majority of regular thinking Americans. Just because you see it on TV don't mean that's something. Oh, it was on TV. Oh, that's on TV. That must mean something. Jimmy Kimmel said this. This must mean something. It don't mean crap. He's a puppet spewing stuff for a paycheck. He's not changing anybody. No. It's easier to convert a Democrat to be Republican. If you're Republican and you're into sound thinking and morals, you can't get converted to the Democrat side, as we well found out in the last election. All the Democrats crossed over, and the minority men, black, social media, YouTube channels were all on the Republican side. And social media helped get Donald Trump over the hump. So they were spending billions of dollars on negative ads on network TV, and it didn't work. People were going to social media, and a lot of people that had big social media channels, the black lady, I love her. She got a big following. The Officer Tatum, other guys, they got the social media vote. So the networks and the freak shows, they could put on all these productions of the little 2% fairyland rainbowed out bums. They're a whisper. They're a whisper. So whoever's watching that, if a Republican ain't going to watch Jimmy Kimmel because there's not even any comedic value. Years ago, there used to be comedy. They don't even have writers anymore. So they're bums. But you're not going to get a Republican to switch over to Democrat. You'd have to be a psycho. You'd have to be a psycho. If you're a Republican and something that happened would make you change, there's nothing that can sway you. But if you're a Democrat watching all this bull crap happen for 4 years, you're going to say, well, hey, honey, I ain't feeling this anymore. I think I've been hoodwinked. Let's give Trump a try. And he got our country back in order. And the border's closed. Excuse me, don't we want a country is defined by borders. So couldn't even be defined as a country. A country has defined borders. We didn't have a defined border. There was an open border. So it was the United States of Mexico and Nicaragua and Venezuela and any other bums that wanted to come in. So America said, I don't think we like that. We heard about this crime, that crime. Well, we don't like that. So forget about the polls you hear on these networks, 54 to 46 and all that. No, It's 75-25, and 25 is an inflated number at that. Yeah. Did I get the Cash App? Probably not. It would have pinged. I just can't win. Did you get the Cash App? Nah, it didn't ping. Maybe it's delayed. I don't know. Zero balance. Zero balance. No, I got an incoming call. Well, yeah. So you heard it all, folks. Max, good to see you again. The snake is going to eat his own tail. Yeah. Good to see you, Ronnie, Max. I hope everybody's doing well, Kathy. I love you all. Tara, good to see you. Max, thank you, Mr. Bergio, and the beautiful Bergio family. God bless everybody. I had to get it in. And God bless and God rest Charlie Kirk. And, I know the biblical standards and morals and precepts are not revenge and stuff like that. But there's people out there that ain't going to be too biblical. And Michael Condenas, David BMX, appreciate it all. And we'll get some in here and there and keep it going. At least I get to visit you guys. Philly Bob, all right. I hope you're doing all right, Philly Bob. The great, beautiful Bergio family. God bless you, Max. Coffee. Yeah, I am out of coffee now. I'm just drinking my last cup. What are you, psychic? Yep. So goodbye, everybody. Goodbye to Yellow Brick Road. So that's all. We don't know what's going to happen. That's political stuff. It gets frustrating. It gets aggravated. But have fun and enjoy your life. You're breathing. You got air in your lungs. You're on Earth. Have fun. We got to pay attention to these evil scumbags, yes. And maybe wish evil on them, if you will. I don't know. But we still have to have enjoyment and laugh and boom and rock and roll. And life is good. Let's live. All right, folks. God bless you. And maybe next week we'll just do one a week. Yeah. Jesus. Max. Yeah. Forgive me, Jesus, because I'm thinking. Yeah. All right, folks. God bless you. Be the kings and queens of your world. Don't give up. If you're swimming upstream, you can get there. All right. Just keep your eye on the prize. Jesus is the way. All right, folks. Take care.